Apple time, 7. Mm-hmm. Is everyone in here? Everyone is here. Okay, we are going to get started. Thank you all for coming out. We are going to get started on the November 25th, 2024 meeting of the Board of Supervisors. We will start with the Pledge of Allegiance. If you'll join us. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Again, thank you all for coming out. Announcements tonight. Township Manager Carolyn McCreary has a special announcement to share this evening.
If I could direct everyone's attention to the screens, please.
The Vietnam Veterans Memorial Fund many years ago created a replica of the wall that travels to communities around the country that we call the Wall That Heals. This mobile replica really is about taking the names home to communities large and small to allow people to have that same kind of healing experience, to come and show their respect, to remember those 58,000 whose names are on the wall, as well as the 2.7 million Vietnam veterans who served who returned home. It's a chance to look back and pay their respects to those who answered the call of service to their country, especially those who made the ultimate sacrifice.
To be able to take this around to communities that may not even know anything about the wall or the war, especially for the young kids to come out and see these things and get educated on it. People need to know what these 58,000 plus gave their lives for, whether they want to hear about it or not. They need to know.
The experience at the Wall That Heals is as you go from one end in toward the center, the wall actually rises up above you so that it's taller than you are, which is one of the key design aspects of the wall in Washington. As you go down one of the walkways, the wall actually rises above you. And I think that has a psychological impact where you actually understand that there is something important here. It is so large that it creates an emotion of power, and you understand you're supposed to stop. You're supposed to think about it. And in this case, you can read the names, you can see your reflection in the wall, and you have to remember why those names are inscribed. These are people who sacrificed their lives for our country.
I get this feeling in my stomach, the pride that you see. When we went into San Dimas, the kids were all along the streets with their American flags. That always chokes me up because I know what it is to serve this country. And we as Americans sometimes don't understand the cost of war. Hate the war all you want, but don't hate the warrior.
I met a couple guys here this morning, and one guy, I walked up to him and he started crying already. That makes me feel good. Not that he's crying, but that he's here to have bonding with someone and being able to find his buddy on the wall. It means so much.
Well, that's amazing.
So I am honored to announce that the Wall That Heals is coming to Montgomery Township from July 10th to July 13th, 2025.
Amazing.
It's a 3/4 scale replica of the memorial along with a mobile education center. It's coming to Montgomery Township at Windle Strait Park and will be open 24 hours a day and free to the public. The Wall That Heals honors the more than 3 million Americans who served in the U.S. Armed Forces in the Vietnam War, and it bears the names of 58,281 men and women who made the ultimate sacrifice in Vietnam. The Vietnam Veterans Memorial Fund is pleased to bring the Wall That Heals mobile exhibit to Montgomery Township, Pennsylvania, to allow local veterans and their family members a chance to experience the wall, said Jim Knotts, President and CEO of VVMF. Hosting the Wall That Heals provides an opportunity to honor and remember all those who served and sacrificed in the Vietnam War and educate visitors on the continuing impact of the Vietnam War on America. The Wall That Heals is transported from community to community in a 53-foot trailer. When parked, the trailer opens with exhibits built into its sides, allowing it to serve as a mobile education center telling the story of the Vietnam War, the wall, and the divisive era in American history. The three-quarter scale wall replica is 375 feet in length and stands 7.5 feet high at its tallest point. Visitors will experience the wall rising above them as they walk towards the apex, a key feature of the design of the wall in DC. Visitors will be able to do name rubbings of individual service member names on the wall. The Mobile Education Center exhibit includes digital photo displays of hometown heroes, service members whose names are on the wall that list their home of record within the area of a visit. A digital photo displays of Vietnam veterans from the local area honored through In Memory program, which honors veterans who returned home from Vietnam and later died. Video displays that teach about the history and impact of the wall, educational exhibits told through items representative of those left at the wall in DC. A replica of In Memory plaque, a map of Vietnam, and a chronological overview of the war. The exhibits tell the story of the Vietnam War, the wall, and the era surrounding the conflict, and are designed to put American experiences in Vietnam in a historical and cultural context. We learned of the wall. We put an application in. What set us apart, I believe, was our passion for this. Deb Rivas and I took the call on a Friday afternoon. They've been calling us and lots of questions. They asked, you have time for a 10-minute phone call in the afternoon. It was the Friday we were trying to get the budget out to the board. We said, yes, we have time. We came in my office, we shut the door. She thanked us for being able to get on the call, and she said, how would you like to host the Wall That Heals? And we both just started cheering and crying, and it was just a wonderful experience, and we look forward to bringing it not only to our residents, but the North Penn community and the greater community at large. And there's going to be a ton of work to do. It is a heavy lift, but every department head, when I approached them before I put the application in, not only encouraged me, but embraced it. And we know that this is going to be a big undertaking. There's going to be tons of roles for everyone. We're already working behind the scenes. We've already participated in Zoom meetings a couple evenings. So look for more information. We'll be setting up a dedicated website, and Derek will be putting out a press release tomorrow morning to all media outlets. Thank you.
That is amazing. Thank you. That makes us proud. All right, well, next, public comment. Any person wishing to make public comment during this meeting on any items not listed on the agenda may do so at this time. Is there any public comment? No? Okay. Announcement of this executive session. Solicitor Walco, please.
Thank you, Madam Chair. The Board of Supervisors met in executive session immediately after their last public meeting that was adjourned on November 11th, 2024 to discuss a personnel matter. In addition, the Board of Supervisors met in executive session earlier this evening at 6:15 to discuss personnel matters. The topics discussed are legitimate subjects of an executive session under the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania's Sunshine Law.
Thank you. Number 6 is our consent agenda. I'm going to move to approve the consent agenda as presented for the following: minutes of the November 11th, 2024 board meeting, payment of bills for November 25th, 2024, escrow release number 4 for Baratia Temple Cultural and Learning Center, escrow release number 14 for the Higher Rock Partners LP, Higher Rock Phase 2, and then escrow release number 4 for Walnut Knoll 2-lot subdivision.
Second.
Any public comment? All in favor?
Aye.
Most importantly, we have recognition tonight, promotion of Sergeant Glenn Davis to Lieutenant. Chief Peoples.
On September 20th, 2024, Scott Bendy retired as Chief of Police. With his retirement, Administrative Lieutenant William Peoples was promoted to the Chief of the Police, and the position of Administrative Lieutenant became vacant. Tonight, we'll be promoting Sergeant Glenn A. Davis, Jr. to the rank of Administrative Lieutenant. Glenn Davis started his career with the Montgomery Township Police Department in 1993 when he was hired as a police dispatcher. He was then hired as a cadet police officer in 1997, where he attended the Pennsylvania State Police Academy in Hershey, Pennsylvania. He worked in the Patrol Division from 1997 to 2017, where he served in several positions to include the Highway Safety Unit and the Canine Unit. Glenn was promoted to the rank of corporal in 2008 and then patrol sergeant in 2012. He was assigned as a sergeant to the Detective Division in 2017 and then assigned as the Sergeant of Professional Standards in 2023. Glenn Davis has had several extra duties throughout his police career, including being a firearms instructor, taser instructor, field training officer, accreditation manager, and training coordinator. He's also supervised special units to include the Highway Safety Unit, the Community Policing Unit, the Canine Unit, and the Field Training Unit. He brings a wealth of knowledge, management skills, abilities, and vision for the police department that will well serve the department, the township, and the residents of Montgomery Township.
We're going to read that resolution. I'm going to move to approve the promotion of Glenn A. Davis Jr. to the rank of Administrative Lieutenant effective November 26, 2024.
Second.
Any public comment? All in favor?
Aye.
Congratulations. Sure. Oh, yeah. One more time.
It's a feel-good meeting.
It's great.
Yes,
It's a very feel-good meeting tonight.
All right, we forgive you all if you leave now. Get out. Get out and shut the door. Someone gonna shut the door. There we go.
Glenn's doing it himself.
Thanks, Glenn. All right. Moving on. We have presentation of annual donations. Lots of good people in here tonight to get our donations. First one, North Wales Area Library. We have a check in the amount of $10,000. I think we have lots of people from the library. Jennifer Koch, Executive Director, Robin Frazier, Assistant Director, and Erin Thompson, Associate Director. Come on up.
We also have Susan Leonard.
Susan Leonard, I'm so sorry. We have some visiting dignitaries. Come on up. You are on the board, so why don't you do that?
I'd be happy to. Is there anything to read or no?
No,
No, it's just a check.
just a check. That's all they want.
Carolyn's backup photographer.
Thank you all so much.
Thank you for everything that you do at the library. Or the library, as my granddaughter calls it. The library. All right, so the next one we have Montgomery County Public Library. We have a check in the amount of $10,000 for Karen D'Angelo, Executive Director and District Administrator.
I have a couple things I wanted to let you know about.
Sure.
Right? You know we have the bookmobile that comes here every week, but to your rec center. But we also have our Words on Wheels. I brought you a picture for a visual. Our Words on Wheels. That comes once a month to the Hudson Estates, twice a month to the Hudson Estates. And our books go round is back on the road again. It is the children's goes to preschools, and it goes to the Montgomery Elementary School pre-K counts.
Oh.
And as you know, I'm sure, Montgomery County Norristown Public Library spends $5 per person by state law for every single one of your residents. It comes out to about $130,000.
Okay.
Thank you so much for helping us.
Oh, thank you for everything you do for our residents.
There you go. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much. And it's done in November, as you can tell.
That's awesome. Montgomery Township Historical Society, a check in the amount of $6,000. Not sure who was coming tonight.
Sue Gordon.
Sue Gordon. Okay, come on up.
Can I give that to them?
Of course. Everyone can give a check. Here, you do that one. Give that to Audrey. Everyone can hand out a check tonight.
You get to do the, is that the Peak Center one?
Yeah.
Seniors.
December 8th is our annual holiday open house at Knapp Farm, and we'd love to see all of you there.
Thank you.
It's 1 to 4 in the afternoon, and if you haven't been in the house, there's some of you have, a lot of you haven't. Come over and see. Thank you.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. The next one we have is the Monco Anti-Hunger Network, checking the amount of $5,000. Shannon Isaacs, Executive Director, is here. And Annette's going to present that check.
Thank you all so much for this generous support. Just very briefly, we've all experienced the impacts of inflation, and it's really driving up food insecurity in Montgomery County in a concrete way. So this support really translates into our neighbors having enough to eat. And thank you so much. It just makes a huge difference. We're just so grateful.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And then the last check we have tonight is for the Peak Center. We have a check in the amount of $3,000, and Audrey is going to present that to Elizabeth Beal, Executive Director.
Yeah, I mean, just thank you so much. The support we've gotten from the township over the years has been really important. We just heard about food insecurity. That's a big thing that we're doing. We saw a 47% increase in the number of meals that we served to seniors in our last fiscal year.
Wow.
And a 35% increase in the overall attendance. So we're getting more and more people looking for a place to just make friends, have a good meal, engage in health and wellness programs. And so thank you for what you're doing for your neighbors.
Thank you for what you're doing for our neighbors.
Thank you.
On behalf of the whole board, thank you to all of you and your organizations for what you do for our residents. We really, really appreciate it.
And they're free to leave.
You are free to leave. Yeah, you don't need to stay.
Welcome to stay.
You're welcome to stay.
Welcome to stay. Free
We
to
won't
leave.
be insulted if you have something better to do.
Bye.
Bye.
Happy Thanksgiving.
Happy Thanksgiving, everyone.
All righty. So item number 9, replacement of HVAC equipment at Battalion 1 Firehouse. Chief Wegman,
Good evening.
might as well wait till they shut the door.
During this year's annual preventative maintenance services and inspection by Scattings Heating and Cooling, it was found that the HVAC equipment serving Battalion 1, which is at 309 in Stumps, office area, dining area, and living areas is aging and needs to be replaced. The equipment showed signs of cracks and failures that could lead to a hazardous condition by allowing CO to leak from the units. The department received the following 3 quotes for the replacement of the units, one from Scattins, one from Total Comfort Solutions, and one from Lowry Services. This purchase was not budgeted in the 2024 capital plan for the fire department. The projected cost for replacing the units with Scatting Heating and Cooling, which was the lowest of the 3 quotes, is $16,730. Staff recommends that the Board of Supervisors approve the purchasing and installation of the replacement HVAC equipment by Scattings Heating and Cooling for a total price of $16,730.
And while it wasn't included in the budget, we do have money in our capital fund for things like this. Additionally, because of the nature of the potential for a CO leak, we want to get it done sooner rather than later.
I understand the urgency of the replacement. I was just wondering how old the equipment was, and was this if it wasn't in the budget, it's probably because it wasn't within the end of its life.
Right. So we weren't expecting this. We do get our equipment every year. Scattins comes out for preventative maintenance, and they didn't indicate last year that this was going to be an issue. But the equipment is original to the upgrade of Battalion 1. So 2008 is when that equipment was installed. One of the units looks like it could have been from the original building. I don't know if that's true or not, but all the paperwork says that it was from 2008.
It's about when you would expect it to start to die.
One of the quotes did
One of the quotes said something about PICO rebates. It did say household, but did we look into anything with that? If there's anything available to us?
Yeah, I know Greg got these quotes and Todd worked on getting them too. They did look into the Pico rebates, but I think the Scatton's price was cheaper. I think that was the Lowry Services quote. I'm not sure. But Greg did look into all the Pico rebates. I know that because we had that conversation.
Scans is a good local company,
Mhm.
so nice to see them get the business. Any other questions? I'm going to move to approve the purchasing and installation of replacement HVAC equipment by Scatton's Heating and Cooling, Inc. for $16,730.
Second.
Any public comment? All in favor?
Aye.
In planning and zoning, item number 10 is going to be consider authorization to execute deed of easement of public sanitary sewer with MTMSA. Mary Ann McConnell, Director of Planning and Zoning.
As part of the Village of Windsor project adjacent to Horsham Road, the developer agreed to run a sewer line down Horsham Road adjacent to the group of remaining residential homes. These homes have on-site sewage and many want to connect to public sewer. Easements have been prepared for the 7 homeowners along Horsham Road. The 8th easement sits along the edge of Montgomery Township open space along Horsham Road. Attached is the proposed deed of easement, legal description, and site plan showing the location of the proposed easement at the corner of Horsham and Upper State Road within the township open space area.
Just so that you know, it's something that's been developed as part of the sewer authority. This is something that's been discussed at their meetings. I know that the residents who are there along Horsham are excited to see this development moving forward so that they can tap into the public sewer because a lot of them have aging septic, and so they're anxiously awaiting for us to run that sewer line. So this is a real positive for them.
I'm sure value of their homes just went up.
Yep.
Everybody loves a good public sewer. Okay, as long as there's no questions, I'll move to authorize execution of the deed of easement of public sanitary sewer with the Montgomery Township Municipal Sewer Authority for Montgomery Township Open Space, Horsham Road, as part of the Village of Windsor project.
Second.
Any public comment? All in favor?
Aye.
Great. In administration and finance, number 11, request authorization to purchase AV upgrades to the police bailey room. Rich Greer,
How you guys doing? Evening.
IT Director of the world.
We're talking about some AV upgrades for the police. Staff included $25,000 in the 2024 budget for Bailey Conference Room Teams Room AV to enhance the police video conferencing and Emergency Operations Center EOC capabilities. A quote was obtained from New Era Technologies dated November 15th, 2024 for the new AV hardware and installation totaling $23,811.24. This project will include integration with Microsoft Teams Room, allow for seamless video conferencing and remote participation. A new large TV display, along with cameras and speakers, will support the virtual meetings and improved communications for EOC operations, which is sort of like PIN number, EOC operations. It is recommended that the Board of Supervisors approve the quote for the Bailey Room upgrades from New Era Technology, an authorized vendor, and with the CoStar's Cooperative Program Purchase Program at a total cost of $23,811.24 per their quote.
And you love all this, New Era, all this
They've
is
been doing a
what?
great job for us. Yes, they just did the roll call room for
Right.
them, used their existing hardware and enhanced it. So now they have cameras and audio along with their nice big display in there for training and all that good stuff. We're actually integrating WebEx and Zoom with it, which is kind of nice as
Wow.
well. So we get Teams functionality along with all those other fun things that everybody loves because everybody loves Zoom.
Okay. Anybody have any other questions? I'm going to move to award the contract for the purchase and installation of the Bailey Conference / Teams Room AV from New Era Technology under the CoStar's Cooperative Purchase Program. CoStar's number 034E23 388 at a total cost of $23,811.24 per their quote.
Second.
Any public comment? All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you so much. Number 12, adoption of resolution supporting grant application to the local share account program for Whistle Stop Park. Carolyn McCreary, Township Manager.
Thank you. The grant application for the local share account program is due November 30th, so we're working on a submission. This program is funded by the Pennsylvania Racehorse Development and Gaming Act, which provides for the distribution of gaming revenue through the Commonwealth Financing Authority to support projects in the public interest within the Commonwealth. The Whistle Stop Park Improvement Project includes the removal and replacement of outdated play equipment with a new accessible, inclusive playground with sensory components located adjacent to the pavilion. The playground will include a poured-in-place safety surfacing, shade structures, and perimeter fencing. The existing playground area will be converted into a picnic grove. 6 pickleball courts will be added. The softball field will be updated with a new backstop, heavy-duty fencing, and a new player benches and bleachers. A loop trail with ADA access to the softball field and other park amenities will be added, and improvements will be made to the existing path to meet ADA requirements. The existing rain garden will be rehabilitated, and existing stormwater issues will be addressed. When completed, this project will enable children and others of all abilities to play and recreate in a safe and inclusive place. We have so far received grants from DCNR and DCED in the amounts of $250,000 and $125,000. Based on the most recent opinion of probable cost, the township share of the project would be $754,611 if this grant is awarded. This would then be included in the 2026 budget. So tonight I'm asking the board to adopt a resolution which has to accompany our grant application, which again is due on Saturday.
I think we will gladly move to do that. Does anyone have any particular questions? Thank you for putting in all the hard work to get this grant done. It's very exciting for the park. I'm going to move to adopt resolution number 2024-24, supporting the grant application to the Commonwealth Financing Authority for the Whistle Stop Park Improvement Project.
Second.
Any public comment? All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you so much, Carolyn. 13 is ratification of memorandum of understanding for Lieutenant Glenn Davis. Carolyn McCreary.
Attached in your packet is the memorandum of understanding which was executed by Lieutenant Davis last week. It copies the standard language of previous MOUs which were executed by Lieutenant Jerry Doherty and Chief Peoples when he was actually promoted to the rank of lieutenant. So tonight I'm asking the board to ratify the MOU between the township and Lieutenant Davis.
Sounds like something we all want to do.
Yep.
I'm going to move to ratify the memorandum of understanding between Montgomery Township and Glenn Davis.
Second.
Any public comment? All in favor?
Aye.
Great. Do we have any old business to talk about? Any new business? Department reports? Committee liaison reports?
Want to start? Sure. I guess a couple of save the dates. Holiday Craft Fair, December 7th from 10 to 2. Will be at the Rec Center, as well as Breakfast with Santa the following week, December 14th at 9. For our meetings, the Public Safety Committee, we talked about the bus patrol cameras, and that was quite interesting. 276 violations in October. So all those get reviewed by Highway Safety. And then there were 187 verified violations. And so that's a $100 fine. What, if I, correct me if I get anything here wrong, Chief. Okay. So Route 463 seems to be our hot topic of stops there or violations there. If there's no barrier, you have to stop.
Mm-hmm.
If there's a barrier and it's a physical barrier between the lanes going north, south, east, west, whichever way you're going, if there's a physical barrier and the flashing lights go out, you're okay to keep going. But if there's no barrier, stop. that seems to be our majority of our issues on 463, where people are not stopping because it seems to be so far away. So just as a public safety
The only
announcement,
place
stop.
we really have a physical barrier would be 309, right?
Yes, there's no bus stops there. So
Correct.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay. People just need to slow down.
Slow down.
Pay attention.
Yeah. As far as the fire department, the burn ban continues. It's my understanding that Montgomery County also put it out after we did. 30 days was theirs, effective November 16th. So have we heard if that's going to be extended at all, or? Okay,
Chief Wegman, what a trendsetter you are.
he's on top of it.
Leading.
That's it for now.
Planning Commission, we had the Dunleavys in, and they own the property at Upper State and Horsham. So the text amendment to allow them to have a larger footprint, correct? About 10,000 square feet instead of, right. So the Planning Commission thought it was a good idea to pass that along to us to hopefully help them be able to come up with a buyer for that property.
Let's see, the Parks Board met, and there was generally a lot of enthusiasm about the new traffic garden at Spring Valley Park, although there are additional improvements that are going to be made to it. It's actually not finished. And those are going to be completed in the spring, and we're working with the county on doing an event where we're going to be distributing bike helmets. So there will be more to be told about that. Hopefully I didn't spoil anybody's surprise on that one. But yeah, so a lot of enthusiasm. And if anybody listening to this or anyone on the board hasn't had the opportunity to go over to Spring Valley Park and see that, it's by the pavilion where like adjacent to where the sand volleyball court is. And it's really a wonderful addition. So kudos to our Public Works Department, because we did that in-house. We have some very talented people who work for Montgomery Township. We're incredibly proud of the work that they do every single day, but this was really above and beyond. It's really a wonderful addition to that park. So kudos.
It really is great. Each time I babysit my nephew, we have to go there. So much so that I keep his little fire truck that he rides on in my car. So we're spending a lot of time over there. We need to get the kid a police car, I guess. But it's a great spot.
So sewer authority met. There's not much to report there. You know, there's just maintenance that's happening with Basin B, and then of course, there was additional information that was being shared about the upgrades to the electrical that needs to happen at Hatfield, but no real movement there yet. That's something that's long term. We're going to see more coming out of that in the next couple of years. Shade Tree Commission, we just had our forestry workshop, and I want to say kudos to Mary Ann and her team, because they did a wonderful job in conducting that workshop. There were about 40 participants. It's a day of education, and it's just another way that we really shine and set a standard for excellence here at Montgomery Township. So kudos on a job well done. I did get to see, however, and this is kind of exciting, the list of trees that have been ordered for our Arbor Day tree giveaway next year. So everybody should have that date marked on their calendars. April 11th, I think. April.
I don't know the exact date, but it's the Saturday after the 4th Friday.
The Saturday. It's in April. Look for it because we've got a great selection of trees that we'll be giving away. And it was 280 trees, I think, that we have. Yeah,
Nice.
280 trees that we have ordered. So make sure you save that date.
I'm gonna pass right on because our EAC meeting is tomorrow, so.
And we had, when little seniors. We had a lot of our conversation was around putting together our seminars for next year that have really picked up a lot of foot traffic. We're no longer calling them senior seminars because it's just a free seminar to anyone that wants to come. And the topics have, some will be repeat because we get a really good turnout. And then we've got some new stuff that we really have picked up the folks coming through on that. And then, of course, we're all excited for Santa to come for breakfast.
How was the Aging in Place seminar?
Say it again.
The Aging in Place seminar that took place, was that well attended?
I can't remember specifically. Deb, do you remember how many?
There were like about 27 people.
Okay. Which, I mean,
A good turnout.
that's a very good turnout. And then I think there was, what was it that, what's the name said there was like 50 some odd people that came to another one. We've had, when we think back to a few years ago, we had like 5
Right.
and 6. I mean, to hear 20, 30, 40, 50 people now coming. So, and then folks asking about like what's going to be for next year. We're tickled about it.
That's
so.
fantastic.
Mhm.
Great.
That's it.
All right. Well, thank you again, ladies, for going out on your own time into your committee meetings, taking away time from your families. And thanks to the staff who stays late and goes to their committee meetings, taking away time from their families. Just at this time of year when everyone's trying to be with family, just know that we appreciate your time away from your families. And have a happy Thanksgiving, everyone. Safe travels. Don't eat too much. Motion to adjourn.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Everyone have a good night.